Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not sure I've actually praised Tucker before, but to me, at the same time, I do think, that Tucker Carlson in particular is situated at this. He's not a Republican Party loyalist. He despises the Republican establishment. Like I said, I mean, he has that kind of heterodox Republican populism, right-wing populism that has become more interesting to me. I have never, ever, ever, ever heard Tucker frame immigration or any other issue in the racist terms that you attributed to him. In fact, he believes that what is racist is liberal discourse.
White men have, they've contributed some, I would say, like creating civilization and stuff. I think they've done a pretty, I don't know, whatever.
If you are really heavily into Islam, I'm sorry, I don't care for you that much. And I don't care what that sounds like. You can call me a racist. You can come where the fuck you want.
A lot of things, this moment we're living through. But it is definitely not about Black lives. And remember that when they come for you, and at this rate they will.
Mexican citizens make up more than 14% of the entire federal prison population.
Why is violent terrorism an inevitability in Europe? There are a lot of Muslims living.
Take a more detailed look at the link between immigrants and crime in this country.
We really don't have good numbers on the crimes committed by immigrants, illegal and otherwise. A country founded on European culture. Is the Western civilization we're talking about superior to the culture that these immigrants are bringing?
So when Tucker says bringing in new people changes the nature of a country's political and cultural identity, he's making the same arguments that the Democratic Party and the ADL make, just from the other side. The idea that immigrants will take people's jobs, it's a fact. I mean, immigrants do come in and lower wages for the American worker. And that, as I said, is a long-standing concern.
Use the term replacement if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it, that's true. If you change the population, you dilute the political power of the people who live there. So every time they import a new voter, I become disenfranchised as a current voter. So I don't understand why we don't understand this. I mean, everyone wants to make a racial issue out of it. Ooh, the white replacement theory. No.
You would too. They'd be crazy not to come. Once they get here, the Biden administration plans to give them voting rights. That's in the works right now. So the people you just saw on your screen could very well be choosing your president at some point down the road. This is a manufactured crisis. This is an attempt to change the demographics of the United States in order to give permanent power to the Democratic Party.
Being concerned about open borders or the unrestrained flow of people across the border has always been popular on the left. Like
Moral obligation to admit the world's poor, they tell us, even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided.
Before I do, let me just ask you to be honest, and you seem like an honest guy, so I trust that you're gonna give me the honest answer.
Sure.
Do you regularly sit down and watch Tucker's show? Like sit down, watch the monologue, or do you generally see it when anti-GOP groups like Media Matters or Vox are circulating clips to disparage him versus the relationship that he has with his viewers who watch him every night and hear his full message? That's the first thing.
A few moments later.
Let me just say a few things. Because by appearing on, I don't watch Fox News. I don't watch any cable shows.